everyone, it's Laura and I hope you're all doing really well, and I really hope that you're enjoying Vlogmas so far. I'm really enjoying putting up the vlogs every couple of days. I'm finding it quite satisfying seeing all the videos like build up on my channel as well, but we are nearly halfway through now. And I thought I'd have a little bit of a break from the daily life vlogs to do a bit of a fun Christmassy tag video. Considering I spend weekdays at work and also we're obviously not really going anywhere in the evenings, there's no kind of exciting, interesting things that are happening during the week. I'm only really vlogging at weekends. So yeah, we're gonna supplement the specific vlog videos with some other Christmassy content. So today I'm going to be doing the Joy of Christmas tag, which was created by Sam at Sam's Nonsense, and I'll leave her original video in the description box below, along with all the questions. So if you'd like to try this tag for yourself, if you have a channel, or just answer the questions yourself in the comments, that would be lovely. So the first question is anticipation. The Christmas excitement is real. What book releases are you most anticipating? And honestly, I hate this question just because my answer for it always is none. And you know, I've said it in other tags and I'll say it again, I just don't pay attention. It's just not in my nature to know what's up and coming, and I don't know why that is, but I don't really look out for new books. I'm not really in on all the bookish news, and to be honest, with a baby next year, like, am I really looking forward to what the new releases are going to be? I don't know how much reading I'm going to get post baby's arrival. So I'll be lucky if I finish what I already own in the house, to be fair. And there's lots of recent releases that I'm very, very excited to read. But yeah, I think I just get most of my news through BookTube and via other booktubers, and most of the time that's after another booktuber has already read a book. So I always feel like I'm a little bit behind in terms of the new releases. Question number 2 is Christmas songs and carols. What book or author can you not help but sing its praises? And for me, this is definitely Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. I absolutely adore this book, and I don't think there's a single person I wouldn't recommend it to. I feel like it's really plotty, it deals with loads of different themes, it's really character driven, but it kind of takes you in directions that you weren't really expecting in terms of a plot, so it almost becomes a little bit of a mystery. The writing is really beautiful and really emotive, and it also has lovely references to fairy tales and the idea of motherhood in there. I just feel like I'm so upset that he didn't win the Women's Prize of Fiction the year that it was shortlisted, and I'll never get over that because I feel like it was definitely the best book on the list that year. This is the story of a husband and wife in Nigeria who are unable to have a baby for whatever reason, unknown reason, and so the husband's family pressure him to take a second wife, and this is something that is accepted, culturally accepted and expected, but it's not something that they were ever going to do as a couple, so it kind of comes as a bit of a shock. And from the outset it seems like there's going to be a story of rivalry between these two women, and there is to a certain extent, but it's really looking past that, like I said, of the idea of motherhood and relationships between mothers and daughters, and just the idea of family as well. And there's all kinds of different things going on with in this family, which is uncovered as you go on. And to say that there are big twists in this plot kind of does it a disservice, because there's not really a big twist that comes out of nowhere and that you should be looking out for when you read it. But I did feel like the plot completely didn't go in the way I was expecting it to, and it was just such a joy to read. See, I told you I couldn't help but sing its praises. Like, I don't think there's like a thing I didn't like about this book. Question 3 is Gingerbread Houses. What book or series has wonderful world building? And I struggled with this question a little bit because I don't read a lot of books that have your stereotypical idea of world building. So it's not lots of fantasy or dystopian novels or sci-fi where like a lot needs to be established. For me, I would normally say world building is like, do I believe in these characters and do I believe in the society that they're among? But to answer this question probably properly, I have 2 answers. One of them is the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden, and this is a beautiful series of books set in medieval Russia, and there are sort of brushes with magic and Russian folklore, and I feel like that is so atmospheric. You're following this young woman Vazia as she grows from a child into a woman, understanding her own kind of abilities and knowledge and links to perhaps the magic side of Russian culture, and how that comes up against the new Christian orthodoxy that's coming into the country. So it's not a brand new world as such because it is Russia, but it is is within that time period, and there's lots of kind of magical elements to it. And I think just in general, you really, like I said, it's so atmospheric. You really understand the links with nature and winter and the seasons, and I really love that. But some other books that I've been reading recently, which are standalone, are books by Patricia Amy Killip. And what I've read so far by her is Alphabet of Thorn and Odd Magic, and both of these are standalone fantasy books. So the fact that they are standalone means immediately that the book has to do quite a lot of heavy lifting to help you to understand this world that you're in and the rules of it. But also, both of those books were quite short. They're not even like really big long tomes, and I think that is just such a good skill, because yeah, it's not very extremely detailed world building, but I totally bought both the worlds that these stories were set in, and she managed to do it so quickly and establish so many characters. You were just like, oh right, okay, that's how this world works, and I'm not going to get told how that works, but that's fine. We'll leave that, and the important parts of the plot are all established, and I've really enjoyed reading those. Question 4 is a Christmas carol, a favourite classic or one that you want to read. Oh, my favourite classic, which I always tell everyone, is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I just love this book. Talking of world building, I just feel like all of these characters are real. I feel like they live in me. We watched a film adaptation the other week, and I was kind of explaining it to Will, because it's very, very difficult in a film to really condense what happens with all of these characters. And I was saying to him, you know, it's like one of those things that even though I've read it a couple of times, you're willing the characters to make different decisions. It's almost like you believe that they could go down a different path, even though you know how it's going to end. And they're all so fully formed, even the supposed side characters. It probably also helps that it's quite a long book, so you spend a lot of time getting to know all of these people, and you get really immersed in the world within this Russian high society that they're all operating in. I feel a bit like a broken record, because I feel like I'm always talking about Anna Karenina, but it really is my favourite. Question 5 is Christmas sweets. What book would you love to receive for Christmas? And there's a book that I really wish I'd put on my Christmas list. And I didn't put any books on my Christmas list. I don't normally, really, because I just feel like I have so many anyway, and I like to indulge in buying them for myself. But what I really wish I'd put on there is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and I don't know why, I'm just really drawn to this book. I haven't read Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is her first book, so I have no idea what her writing's like. I just feel like I'm really intrigued by the little kind of fawn on the front, and the fact that Piranesi is this like character, and I feel like the blurb doesn't really give away what it is or what it's about, but it's a kind of mythological, fantastical tale. It's what it seemed like to me, and I'm just really drawn to it. Question 6 is Candles in the Window. What book gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling? And I have 2 for this, and they're both books that I've read and reread, and read when I was quite young, and so mean quite a lot to me. So the first one is the His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. I really loved these when I was growing up, and there's something so wintry about them as well. I recently reread them maybe a couple of years ago over Christmas, and that was just such a lovely experience from a nostalgic point of view anyway, but also I feel like Christmas is just a time for nostalgia, isn't it? It's time for the familiar, like the rituals and the traditions, and remembering what things were like when you were younger. And there's something so magical about those books, and yeah, it does give me that warm hug feel. And the other books that I get that from are the Lord of the Rings books by J.R.R. Tolkien. But this is massively tied up with my other Christmas tradition, which I'm sure you will know about if you've been here for a while, which is that me and my friends get together every Christmas to watch all the films, and we do a big marathon. And it's like one of those really specific things where we all go to the same house, and we all get Chinese food and then watch Lord of the Rings. And none of those things are Christmassy, but for us they really are. Probably because the films used to be released in the cinemas around Christmas, and we'd all go when we were teenagers. And something about the books taking place over winter as well. They start in September, I think. And again, I have reread those over this kind of wintry Christmas period, and it just makes me feel so happy to be in this world that I know so well, and with these characters that I know so well. And again, something that, I mean, Tolkien's not for everyone, don't get me wrong, but something where the world building is so like complete and immersive, and I find that really, really warm and comforting around Christmas. Question 7 is Christmas trees and decorations. What are some of your favourite book covers? So, the first thing that came to mind when I read this question was Eleanor by Jason Gurley, which is a book I've had on my shelves. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie, for about 5 years, and I've been like, oh, what a beautiful cover. And I put it on my bookshelf to show off, and I've not read it. So I can't even remember what the blurb says, and it's obviously in a box somewhere upstairs, so I couldn't even tell you. But that's such a gorgeous cover, and it really has distracted me from the content of that book. Some other covers that I've been really enjoying recently are the seasonal quartet covers by Ali Smith. I really like those David Hockney paintings that they have, and I love that it's the same scene in different seasons. I think that works really, really well. And question number 8 is Christmas joy. What are some of your favourite things about Christmas, and or some of your favourite Christmas memories? And I haven't prepared this one because I just thought, oh, that's fine. I know about Christmas, but I'm now thinking favourite Christmas memories. I don't know if I have one particularly, but I do know that growing up, our Christmases were always very, very similar. So I think for me, again, there's something to do with that ritual and the tradition and having the same things as you did last year. I find really Christmassy because we don't have any cousins, my brother and I. So our grandparents always used to come to my mum and dad's house, and that was it. We didn't have any other close family that we would go and visit. So we never had a discussion about who was going to do Christmas. It was always in our house, and we never had to like travel to visit people on Boxing Day or anything like that, which growing up was really nice. But then that does mean that I'm a little bit like, if my Christmas is not that, like I find I kind of struggle with it not being the same, which obviously it has been now that I am married to Will, and we obviously have Christmas with each other's families, and we take turns, and what we'd like to do going forward is host Christmas in our own house. So obviously it was going to change at some point, but it means that a lot of the things I enjoy about Christmas are like about specific things, like specific food and specific smells. So I am all about those like real Christmassy flavours and spices. I love a Christmas candle, like an orange cinnamon allspice kind of candle. I'm all over that. I love a mince pie, I love a Christmas pudding, love mulled wine, like anything mulled, I absolutely love it. And then I'm kind of all about the food as well on Christmas Day. Obviously we have a big roast dinner. Specific things that my family had that I really enjoy is this profiterole dessert thing that you can get from Marks and Spencer's. And it wasn't just, oh, let's have profiteroles for dessert. It was, we need to get the specific thing that Marks and Spencer sell, and that you can only get it on Christmas. And it's just become like this Whitehead family tradition that we have this profiterole dessert. So there's some things like that, like I need to eat that. I love a Boxing Day lunch. That's like my favourite, when you have all the cold meats and cheeses and potato salad and smoked salmon and prawns and like little sausage rolls and like, oh yeah, that's what I mean. All the pickles as well, like pickled everything, pickled onions, pickled gherkins. Like a Boxing Day meal I absolutely love. This is the thing, everything is about like food and smells and drinks, basically. Those are my favourite things about Christmas. I should probably stop before I make myself hungry. So that's it for this tag. I think Will and I are going to do a video later on in Vlogmas, hopefully, where we can talk about our own Christmas traditions and things that we've enjoyed when we were growing up, and things that we want to create for our future family. The kind of new Christmas traditions that we have now. So I can go into more detail about all the things I love about Christmas in that video. I'm looking forward to reading all your answers to these questions in the comments below, and I'll be back in a couple of days with another Vlogmas vlog. So I'll see you then. Bye.